Novak Djokovic retires from his semi-final match with Sasha Zverev after the first set. This is not the way that we wanted this match to play out, and this is my post-match reaction. Yeah, it is 5:30 a.m. here in the UK, and after a grueling first set of tennis of 82 minutes between Novak Djokovic and Sasha Zverev, Novak Djokovic dumped a smash into the net to give the tie-break win to Sasha Zverev at 7-5, and then retired just instantly, to the shock of me, to the shock of the crowd, to the shock of Sasha Zverev, really. And he walked to the net. Just goes to show his body, he's able to put on this like mask that he can not show his injuries until it's too late. I mean, he played fantastically in the first set. I don't think it was his best, but he still played well. And Sasha Zverev, the way he's been playing recently, I mean, he couldn't have gone another 82 minutes. I mean, if you watched the way how grueling that first set was, Djokovic must have had in his mind that he was only going to be able to like go through this match if he won the first set, or if he played a certain number of minutes on court and won the first set, maybe. But there was definitely limitations. There was definitely something, I think, preemptively agreed, maybe from him, his team, but he knows his body better than anybody. And 82 minutes of tennis and losing the set, and then having to look forward to winning 3 more sets, which all could be potentially 82 minutes, and then a final after that against potentially Jannik Sinner, the greatest hardcourt player at the moment on tour. It just wouldn't work, would it? And he knows better than anybody. And yeah, like the tennis let's say here, so sad for Novak to end his tournament like this. Zverev into his first Australian Open final as well. Yeah, what a way to get there. And he had some really nice words for Novak after the match. Said, please guys, don't boo a player when he goes out injured. I know that everybody paid for tickets, but Novak gave to this sport everything he had in the last 20 years. Won this tournament with an abdominal and a hamstring tear. Show some love. And yeah, I mean, the spotlight was put on to Sasha Zverev. Obviously spoke for a lot longer than probably people normally do at the end of a match, trying to give the crowd a little bit of something. Obviously they paid a lot of money to come out and watch what was billed the big semi-final, really. Djokovic versus Zverev. They normally have an epic battle. The first set was an epic battle. Unfortunately, it didn't end in the best way, but Djokovic has given his life to the sport. He has been the most dominant player ever at the Australian Open, and he was just trying to do it one more time. But Father Time looks like this time has caught up with him. And we've got Sasha Osmo saying, mind games from Novak, retiring to confuse Zverev. I'm not sure that that's true. He's obviously just playing there. This is crazy as well. It's only Djokovic's second loss via retirement at the Australian Open after conceding to Andy Roddick in the quarterfinals in 2009. And I was worried coming into this match, and I think rightly so. The missed practices that he had leading in. He was heavily hampered in the practice. The damage was clearly there, and even though he doesn't want to speak about it, we may hear about it in the press conference. I will keep you updated with that as soon as that happens. I think the tactics from Djokovic, they seemed like he was trying to incorporate different things, but I think it was due to the fact that he was trying to sort of not utilize too much power. The backhand slice was up 9% on his tournament average today. And yeah, he had to change some tactics. He normally adjusts so well. We saw what happened against Alcaraz. He adjusted like impeccably well, but to what detriment of his own health? Because coming into the next match against somebody I considered even more dangerous than Carlos Alcaraz at the Australian Open, yeah, I mean, it's not conducive with getting another win under your belt. I mean, Zverev played fantastically, probably due to the length of the set as well. Just a crazy 82-minute first set. I mean, some matches don't even last 82 minutes, especially on the women's side. If you're Iga Swiatek, most of them didn't. But yeah, Djokovic out. And it just means Sasha Zverev now will face either Shelton or Sinner in the final. He still played well. I mean, Djokovic served 5 aces, still looked good in the tiebreak, still did some really good stuff. But you see the first serve percentage was down for Djokovic, 54%, Sasha 76%. I mean, it's going to be so hard to beat Zverev when he's serving like that, and an average first serve speed of over 200 kilometers an hour. Yeah, I mean, it was still a close set, but you can see there the winners, 24 winners to only 11 from Djokovic, and you can see just from that alone that he was always under the cosh, and he would have to bring the very highest level out of himself to be able to win this match. Without that, I mean, he couldn't do another 80-minute set, that's for sure. And if he did that, he couldn't do a final against potentially Jannik Sinner, who is the best hardcourt player in the world right now. I mean, the whole thing, yeah, I mean, he's made a decision probably for longevity over the course of this year. He did so well in his quarterfinal against Alcaraz. But that's it. I mean, Djokovic out. I mean, hopefully it's not the last ever time we see him in Australia, because retirement is not the way you'd want to see him go out in his best ever slam. But hopefully we see him back strong at the French Open and really competing again. But that's just my post-match reaction. Yeah, what can I say? I'm deflated, I'm sad, and it's not the way I envisaged this match going. But all the build up to it, I did have something inside my stomach, which was an element of worry about this matchup. And they always say, trust your gut. I've trusted it now. I'll trust it more in the future. To all the Djokovic fans out there, commiserations. To all the Zverev fans, well, this is a big opportunity now. You haven't had to play a full match to get into the final. You're going to be your freshest ever taking on either Sinner or Shelton. But if you haven't done so yet, give us a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you a bit later on. We'll review Novak Djokovic's press conference.